Yeah, but I can vote first.
As a true comrade.
Huh?
As a true comrade.
No, I'm going to vote as somebody who have a choice. It's a choice.
You don't make money, you know.
Hold on, look at this. Good morning. Morning.
All ladies, for the gentlemen.
This morning,
So we don't color bright
this
and
morning
pretty.
for the first time in my voting life, I am going to go to that table to find out where I'm voting.
Who cares?
What are we, the green pretty? And a pretty man. The green bright.
When I'll be an historian.
Huh?
When I'll be an historian.
I like to think myself as that, you know.
Oh, we can't record them, right? We can't
So you
record.
can't show them this.
Sorry.
Happy. I was feeling
Yeah, the color bright and pretty
to
though.
the desk and this stuff. It's a slap, like a slackness. I don't understand. PD6. Thank you so very much.
Good luck, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, see last time. Oh, you know, watch us.
We don't think we can go in. All right, Karen.
Oh, is that? Come, Michelle.
Good morning. Karen, you should tell him the rules, you know. Sometimes the young police don't know.
The young police need to know. That's your job today. To divert. Your job is to tell people give bad information. Yeah, I know. Yeah, man. I have too experience in all of this.
Comrade.
Tell me some kind of crap. This is a CARICOM election observer mission.
I can't show anybody here, so right?
Now you can't show nobody where you can do it.
All right. Oh. So
The observers?
no, I just recording her going in.
My ID. Okay.
Where your ID?
It's in the car.
What your idea and come back? Okay, baby.
Hello.
So, Fraser, you all right? Line up to vote. I am going to enter. And I am going to enter now. I just paid my first tax. So it's a tough one. It wasn't a hard decision, but it was kind of daunting a little bit, you know, to do this. But I'm glad I did. So here it is.
Hello, JPU family. Welcome. It is election day, the big day. As you can see, the polling stations are open. Miss Karen Cross and the Resistance, them go bright and early go cast them votes. Yes, that's our democracy at work. But guys, let me whisper and tell you something real quick. Only did know say last general election, Mark Golding voted against PNP and Peter Phillips. Yes, I am saying that to say the comrades them who want to vote for the JLP, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, go vote. Anyway guys, let me just shift your attention to something else.
Michael Manley's administration was over 4 decades ago. And therefore, that is not an accurate marker to judge any performance of the PNP. The most accurate marker for whether or not the PNP would make a good administration for Jamaica or a better administration than the current JLP government would be PJ Patterson. Because PJ Patterson presided over the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, the largest transfer of public resources into private hands, PNP supporters don't want to point to PJ Patterson and say, this is what the PNP did. Instead, you would want Jamaicans to look to 40 years ago at Michael Manley and said, this is the standard of the PNP.
I realize there are two people Andrew Holness did run against in the election year. Andrew Holness wasn't only running against a party leader in Mark Golding. He was running against PJ Patterson too. Yes, so no realize it all now. Here's the thing about that now. PJ Patterson should not have raised his head throughout this entire election cycle. I know the PNP thinks that they were doing something good by, letting him be a part of their campaign and speaking, but it was a horrible, horrible idea. In the same way how Bruce Golding can take a back seat. Bruce Golding didn't really see much of Bruce Golding trying to upstage Andrew Holness or trying to remind people, that he was prime minister or he was there. No, that's not a good idea because Bruce Golding had his challenge too. PJ Patterson, on the other hand, had a worse challenge, one that we don't like to remember. It is a most devastating history where Jamaica and economy is concerned. The lady specifically talked about 1992 to 2006, citing PJ Patterson's term as one that the PNP don't really like to talk about. They like to talk about Michael Manley and this and that. I'll be the first to tell you, PJ Patterson overstayed his welcome. He should not have stayed there as long as he did, right? When you look at PJ's term and you look at Mark Golding, you could say that Mark Golding was a part of PJ Patterson's time in office, because of Mark Golding's role that he played in our financial economic meltdown. So Mark Golding was very much a part of that. Let us take a look at Portia Simpson Miller's term. Oftentimes when you hear this, public discussion going on about politics and leaders and stuff, I find that people a lot of times leave out Portia's term in office. And I think Portia did her very best. It's very hard to follow an act like PJ, okay, considering what all took place. But Portia coming in after PJ, it was hard, but, she tried. There was a lot of making up to do to the Jamaican people, a lot of wrongs to be corrected, a lot of image of the PNP to be restored. So, like I've told you before, Portia did a good thing, putting Peter Phillips there with her with the economy and everything. And, they did their thing in the one term that they were there. You know what? What they did, was it extraordinary? I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure we had much of a choice in how that all went down. We didn't really have a choice. The wage freezes, the tightening of our belts, the efforts to bring down the debt, we had no choice. So we had to do what we had to do. If you give them credit for anything, it is the diligence, the sacrifice that they made, that they were willing to make. But the problem with Portia was at the time, Portia did not have a good administration. Besides Peter Phillips, I could not point to anybody else during that time who did a good job. So the worst thing a Portia ever did do in our time in office was to bring Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, and those underperformers to be around her. In my opinion, if Portia Simpson Miller had picked more competent people to be part of her cabinet, Jamaica could have been farther ahead in our Vision 2030 goal, right? You put Bunting there as National Security Minister. What did we have? More crime. No significant decrease in homicides, which we've had a real problem with. You look at the health ministry. What did Fenton Ferguson do as health minister? I could go on and on. But Portia didn't really put too many people around her with the work ethic that we see coming from the Jamaica Labour Party cabinet right now. Now, when the Jamaican people them say, basically, PJ Patterson coming back in front of them, campaigning with and for Mark Golding, campaigning with and for the PNP, and then you see Mark Golding there, who was very much involved with all of that 90s horror on the Jamaican people. What does the PNP think they're doing? The PNP is only showing the Jamaican people that they have not evolved. They have not moved on. They have not charted a new course. They have not moved on from the PJ Mark Golding 90s to early 2000 era. They've gone backwards. Guys, today's election day, and I want you guys to keep this in mind. If you haven't gone to the polls yet, that's why I'm putting out this video this early. Do you guys remember what caused Jamaica's financial meltdown? It had been years of financial deregulation and lack of oversight. That is the type of financial environment that Mark Golding thrived in, that he likes to thrive in. Where we are today, where we're having more regulation, more oversight. If you listen to the rhetoric coming from the PNP, you hear them saying, free up the thing, stop paying down on our debt, give the Jamaican people them the money. I recently heard Peter Bunting even said on the debate stage, we've been tightening up our belt for too long. It's time now to free up. They want deregulation, lack of oversight, free up so that they can thrive. Be smart, Jamaican people. They do not understand the importance of being responsible. Like I said, they want the type of financial environment where things are reckless, dangerous, and then them can come in now like some scavengers and see what they can scrape. You hear Mark Golding talk about him not come for scrape? That's foolishness. Just remember why they gravitated to Omar Davis, PJ Patterson, and how they benefited. They're angry right now because we have financial regulations, we have, more oversight, and we're stable economically. This does not do well for them. So, them want to come in now and come free up things to a point where them can give to themselves more freedom and benefits off of the back of Jamaica. And you know who is going to suffer dearly at the end of it? It is the Jamaican people. You got that right. And we already know these things take decades to recover from. I hope that the Jamaican people will make the right decision today. Guys, this is Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Make sure you're subscribed, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure that you share with somebody. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.